added an Equal Rights Amendment to the New York State Constitution. What we have in the New York State Constitution right now just says no person shall, because of race, color, creed, or religion, be subjected to any discrimination in his or her civil rights. But it doesn't mention sex or gender. And there is now a bill, and it actually passed the Assembly quite recently. It was sponsored by Assemblywoman Rebecca C. Wright. It's a very simple bill that just adds one word to what we already have in the New York State Constitution. So it inserts the word sex, which I put in red there so that you can see what the constitutional change will be. But meanwhile, it hasn't passed the Senate. In the Senate, I've been involved with Liz Krueger's office. Liz Krueger's the state senator who's been working and sponsored this bill. This is the existing bill, and there are other drafts that I've been on the team. Is to have something much more expansive, sort of like the examples from Ecuador that I showed you. Equality of rights shall not be denied or abridged because of race, color, creed, religion, national origin, citizenship, marital status, age, gender, sex, pregnancy, sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, physical or mental disability, other immutable or scriptive characteristic, or like grounds for discrimination, exclusion, or disadvantage, right? So this is what's known as the more expansive ERA, and you can try to think about is extreme to a framework that already has race in it. And I guess I would also just perhaps leave you with this, or we could use it as a topic for discussion. What are the relative advantages or disadvantages of focusing on sex or gender, or focusing on women even, versus focusing on all the different categories and groups with which women can be in solidarity. And so I think that one of the virtues of focusing on sex is that it really draws attention to the uniqueness of gender exclusion in the constitutional framework. That is, it's not just any old form of discrimination, or it's unlike other forms of discrimination in that it was actually a plan for how to grow the nation, right? It is, so if you think about sex discrimination as not just being about sexism, but about having a set of social arrangements, and then you see sex equality as not just end the sex bigotry, but a sex equality as a commitment to having new institutions that reconfigure what our social reproduction framework looks like, right? That makes it extremely different from almost everything else, although arguably it makes it very similar to race, because if you think of race as not just being about bigotry, but about the economic system of slavery and Jim Crow, right? Slavery and Jim Crow was absolutely 100% about bigotry, but it lasted for as long as it did and was sustained by people who did not think they were